Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits. Today, checking out an American beer that is no longer in production. So I thought I had to check this one out and also revisit it, although I never reviewed it. It's another one of those. I was like, I'm sure I reviewed this beer, but I never did. But this is AleSmith's Horny Devil. So they just stopped producing this last year, I think. And this is pretty much their interpretation of Duvel, Horny Devil. And it's a Belgian style pale ale, blonde ale. They just say Belgian style ale with coriander. It's 10%. And just the name alone makes you think of what it's inspired by. I just reviewed this. I have it on the side to compare, which was surprisingly great. But yeah, I mean, this is a beer I had back in the day. I liked. It was never my favorite beer from AleSmith, but I was sure I reviewed this because I tried so many AleSmith beers. It used to be one of my favorite breweries. But yeah, I mean, I simply just never did a video on this one. So they say here on the side that Horny Devil is their interpretation of Belgian-style golden ales. It's brewed with authentic Belgian ingredients like candy sugar and Trappist yeast, making it fruity and spicy, and aromas are of orange, banana, peppercorns, and coriander that adds a citrus touch. And then has a delicate malt flavor that blends well with these nuances. So also has a lively carbonation. You could see when I poured this out, it's not as heavily carbed as Duvel, but it did have high carbonation. So pours a much more cloudy and much more orange hued color. This was packaged last year. I don't know when, but it has a best before date. Oh no, this is a canned on date. Shit, it was canned on the 14th of February. This is over a year old, this can. I just picked this up not too long ago. What the hell? It says best before 2026. Well, this is 10%. It's definitely also stronger than Duvel, so I guess it's okay, but still a pale golden beer like this, I would prefer fresh. But this is what we're going to get. So I just saw that this beer that AleSmith posted that this was going out of production a while back. I think I was scrolling through their feed. It's like, what? They're bringing that out of production? Taking that out? And then I knew I could get it locally. It's like, I need to try it now. It's a final time trying it. Although I think the last time I maybe tried this beer was like 10 years ago. But yeah, Horny Devil. Hazy orange. You can see particulates floating around because it's not fresh. Whitehead. Let's check out the aroma. I know a lot of people have a thing for aging Belgian beer as well, especially in Denmark, especially the dark ones. But yeah, massive hit of coriander. So very different beer than Duvel on the nose already because there's so much coriander. Duvel is much more delicate in its balance of flavors. This is like coriander in your face. But I like that actually. I do like heavy coriander notes in beers like this. Because I love coriander myself. I think coriander is a fantastic spice and herb. But it's really the most dominant flavor. There's a bit of a toffee-esque tone to it. There's definitely also some spiciness. I'm not sure I'm getting banana, but I'm definitely getting clove. There's more phenolic, like warm spice to this than Duvel as well. I think this reminds me more of other, almost like imperialized wit beer to some extent. Just because of the citrus notes and heavy coriander and clove and whatnot. Also smells pretty good. Let's try it. Cheers. Ooh. Wow. Very different beer than Duvel. Very, very different. It's also more acidic. Let's just compare. This is Duvel on the side. It's called Horny Devil. I had to do this. Okay. For a sec there, it seemed skunky. It's on UV lights, and it's a brown bottle, and this is a fresh bottle. I don't know, maybe it's just a weird, I don't know, or hops? Less sweet, more dry, more refreshing. Almost like, there's some lager-like nuances to it, just because of the Czech hops and Slovenian hops, I guess. This is an entirely different beer, an entirely different beast. It's really rich on coriander and really heavy, rich malt backbone, rich mouthfeel. There's got like the slightest touch of, maybe it's like a darker candy sugar or something. There's a sweetness that's like a little bit almost like caramelly. heavy coriander, heavy orange. It's almost like, to me, more like imperial wit beer to some extent because of all that orange kind of coriander and spice. Yeah, black peppers are, maybe more black pepper actually than white pepper going down on the back end. A little bit of hot bitterness, but it's surprisingly sweet actually. This one, it's much sweeter than Duvel, but I think it's very nice. I think this is a sharer though. It's a little bit cloying. I don't know if that's because of age, because this is over a year-old can. I mean, it still drinks nicely enough, but compared to Duvel, like I could smash a bottle of Duvel on my own, and then I'd smash another, and then I'd be hammered. This, I'm hard pressed to finish on myself, I think, or by myself. Yeah, fuck Duvel. It's just so refreshing. This is a dangerous fucking beer. This is just more sweet and rich and decadent. It feels like a little bit like the American interpretation of a lot of things, where things are just becoming really rich and crazy strong and which I don't mind. And again, I think there's really a lot of wit beer qualities to this, and I think it's just because of all that spice and also some of the sweetness. For example, Saint Bernardus wit beer has a little bit of sweetness. Not all wit beers are sweet; some are also drier. But there's just something that reminds me of that. It also has a little bit of an apple-y note, but I think it's more red apple in this, and also even apricot. But it's nice. I definitely like it. There's also a little bit of a tart yogurty vibe, almost like a stone fruit yogurt. I think also the big thing here is like this is so old. It's a 10% beer. It can definitely last, but still with spices, and the spices are very forward. But still, like to me, most of the times, beer is best fairly fresh, unless it's big stouts, barley wines, lambic. Those beers are most of the time also prefer fresh, just to get the vibrant characters of them. I think lambic is probably the best beer style to age of all. Maybe the only one you really want to age for at least a very long time. A year, yeah, it's okay, and a year of this, it's also okay. And the best before date, like if I pick this up in 26. That is 2 years from now. It's probably going to be oxidized a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I would enjoy it that much. I think right now is maybe the latest you should drink it, just in terms of flavor. But yeah, grade 86, 7, something like that. I mean, it's still pretty good, but I'd drink this any day over it, unfortunately. But that being said, I love AleSmith. I love their beers. This is also a nice beer. Maybe it's age. Maybe it's just me right now. I don't know. Maybe time has run its course for Horny Devil. But they make fantastic beer still. Like Speedway Stout is such an icon. Old Numbskull. One of the first IPAs from the States I rated really highly was their IPA. Although I haven't had it in decent. I did a review a while back. But yeah, they make fantastic beers. This is just not my favorite from their portfolio, but it's still worth a shot if you like it. If you like these kind of Belgian style beers. So if you want to give Horny Devil a last shot, you should have a look right now, at least in Europe, because you can still get it. And I know they have it on Best of Beers, and that's the only place I know they have it. And they probably also have this, so you can try compare. But yeah, this is a quite different beer than this. So it's still a nice beer. So if you guys had a chance to try Horny Devil, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in the beer review.